Welcome back to Nick Lenz's Comic Corner Classics that's non-classic. This is episode number 953 and Doubleshot number 847. I have one DC trade, one Marvel trade. One is the start of a series, the other, of course, is the end of it, in a way. First up, it is Secret 6, Volume 1, Friends in Low Places, collecting the first 6 issues of Secret 6, Volume 4. And, of course, DC Sneak Peek Secret 6 number 1. Now, this was revived back in 2014. But here's something really weird about these issues. Okay. The series first issue released in November of 2014. There was a solicit that came out the following month. That issue 2 would come out that month. Nope, wasn't released until freaking February. For some strange reason. And then, for some strange reason, you probably think, okay, maybe next month issue 3. Nope, we had to wait until June for issue 3 to come out. And the story didn't wrap up until, I think it was, September of 2015 is when it's finally wrapped up the story. Yep. Now, the writing, of course, is done by Gail Simone, who wrote the previous volume for the series. Yeah, bringing the series back after 3 years, after it ended. Yes, and I do kind of agree with the opinion. Canceling Secret 6 in 2011 was an absolute stupid idea to do, because Secret 6 was a fantastic title. Yep. Though, of course, this run had an end of 14 issues. Yes, 14. Why? No idea why. Okay, this membership of the Secret 6 is comprised of Catman, Black Alice. Okay, this sounds like Gail Simone's previous run, along with Ventriloquist, the version Gail Simone created, the female one, Freddy, the new kind of basically Generation Scarface in the way, but yeah, he still has the whole thing of spikes on his hands. I'm trying to think who else is part of the school. We also have Porcelain, who is a woman who's is a transgender woman. We have Strix, aka Mary, who is a Talon. Another creation of Gail Simone. It's like half the characters in here are creations of Gail Simone. We also have a guy called Big Shot. Oh boy, here's the thing about this guy. Okay, it's not revealed in the first issue. It's revealed at the end, I think about the end of issue 3, it's revealed that his real name is Ralph Dibny, aka the Elongated Man. Yep, Big Shot is Elongated Man. A guy who had been missing for such a long time. The guy died in the pages of Countdown. Actually, no, he died in pages of 52. Yeah, he'll be alive here, and I can't wait to show up when I get the second volume of this. I can't wait to show up his costume. It's a really good-looking costume. Yeah, because Secret 6, we have a Mockingbird. Now, I should point out, though, this is not the first Secret 6 group. Oh, no. This is the 3rd version of them. Yep. Actually, no. The 4th version of them. Yep. The original version made a debut back in the late 1960s. Yep. Appearing in the first issue of Secret 6, where they had a character called Mockingbird. They didn't know who this character was until their arc from Action Comics Weekly. Yeah, Action Comics was briefly published weekly for a year. Yep. And the original run of this lasted for 7 issues. Yeah, 7. This is back in 1968. Yep, the series was revived in 2006 after Infinite Crisis. Of course, I reviewed a couple of trades in this run. Yeah, became after the events of Villains United, launched a 30, and of course, after the success of the 6-issue miniseries, and appearing in an arc for Birds of Prey, this later led to the successful and very popular 36-issue run of Secret 6, which Gail Simone entirely wrote herself, with having one issue written by John Ostrander. Fantastic title. They even have a few characters who actually were in that run pop up in here, like Ragdoll, Jeanette, Scandal Savage. Yeah, Scandal Savage is a Gail Simone creation. Of course, they don't mention here that her father is Vandal Savage. Yep, that's indeed true. Yeah, and now when the thing starts out, first couple issues, the first issue is heavily focused on Catman. Yep, the team doesn't get their name to issue 3. Well, the thing in that Magnificent is 7 members, but they never saw the name Secret 6, but they become a team officially in issue 3. Where Catman is basically taken captive. Not the first time he's taken captive. Oh no. It's shown via flashbacks in here. He's been taken hostage twice. Yes. And apparently, they keep the fact in here that Catman is bisexual. Yeah, they keep that in here for some strange reason. And Oh yeah, and he has an updated costume. Yep, his costume looks completely different. Yeah, when you finally see him in costume, it's not the costume he had pre-Flashpoint. Oh no, they actually changed his attire. Let's see if I can find him. Yeah, it's a completely new outfit. Let's see if I'm trying to see if I can find it here. Yeah. Okay, here's kind of what the outfit looks like. Yeah, this is Catman's attire. Yeah, that's thanks to the artists in here. Now, there's a few different artists in this run, yes. You have Ken Lashley, Dale Inglesham, Tom Durank, and Drew Gersi. The cover art in here is done in here by Dale Erickson and Jason Wright. Jason Wright is the colorist in here. Okay, now who is Mockingbird in this run? In the first run Gail Simone did, Mockingbird was Lex Luthor. The regular Lex Luthor. No, they didn't have Lex Luthor. They had a Lex Luthor leading the Secret Society, who turned up to be Lex Luthor or Alexander Luthor of Earth 3. This one is not Lex. It's actually the Riddler. Yes, a Batman villain is Mockingbird this time. Not a Superman villain, a Batman villain. Though half the characters in here appeared in Batman. So why the heck not? I would probably say like every character that popped up in here, with the exception of Catman, the Riddler, and Ralph Dibny, most of the characters in here are creations of Gail Simone. Oh yeah, and Ragdoll. Ragdoll, I believe he's a creation, I think he's an old Jay Garrick Flash villain. And last time here prior to this was actually an issue of Batgirl. Yeah, during Gail Simone's run. So, yeah, Gail Simone's like, okay, I have all these cool characters. I'm basically bringing them in. Yeah. Now, I'd say about half these characters are basically making their first... Now, pretty much like almost every character pops up in here, with the exception of the Ventriloquist, Strix, and, of course, Porcelain. With the exception of these three... Of course, Porcelain is the original character. Mostly almost everybody else, with the exception of these three, are in fact making their first post-Flashpoint appearance in this very comic book. Yeah, Gail Simone bringing in some of her own famous creations. Fantastic idea. Though, despite the fact it's called Secret Six, they're a pretty large group. Yeah. And Sue Dibney's alive in this continuity. Yeah, she didn't get killed by Jean Loring. Yeah. If you're wondering how the heck she died in the previous continuity, she got basically burned to a crisp with a flamethrower held by Jean Loring just so her ex-husband come back to her. Yeah, and what was his answer to that? Put her in Arkham Asylum, and she got exposed to becoming the new Calypso. Yeah, that's Identity Crisis and Countdown for you. But this book is just pure fun. I love this book. Yeah, they also get a dog during the course of the story. Yeah, in issue 3, they get himself a house. A house that's owned by, well, Big Shot, a.k.a. Elongated Man. Yeah, he owns this house. As for how he can afford it, he's a PI. Yep. But this book is really good. Also, this is a funny scene where, like, okay, Ralph Dibny's coming home. He's asking everybody. He's asking Catman, Porcelain, Ventriloquist, and Strix. He asks, like, okay, who had wild sex on my couch last night? And they all raise their hand. It's like, okay, I'm getting plastic for my furniture. Okay. Yeah, it's particularly very weird, but it's kind of hilarious. Yeah. But this book is really good. This book a 9.5 out of 10. It's also quite funny as well. Now I'm on to a book that I still am frustrated this book ended after only publishing 12 issues. Yep. This book is New Warriors Volume 2, Always and Forever. Written by Chris Yost, though with the last 2 issues, it's basically co-written with Eric Burnham. This collects the last 6 issues of New Warriors Volume 5. Yep. After bringing the series back after being gone for, I think it was about, off the top of my head, I think it was gone for about 6 years. Yeah, it's been gone for 6 years. This continues where the last volume left off, with it basically them dealing with stuff with the High Evolutionary. Of course, Mount Wondergo is actually base operations. Okay, that kind of makes sense. Yep. And of course, they have battle with Lash, because why the heck not? It seems like almost every superhero now has to fight frickin' Lash. Is it an editorial? Was an editorial mandate when Marvel was giving a push to the humans that almost every single superhero in the Marvel universe who is not the big three has basically get into a fight with Lash? I mean, you had Spider-Man 2099 fighting him. I mean, he was not appearing not just in Inhuman styles. Oh no, he appeared in here. He appeared in Spider-Man 2099. He appeared everywhere. Like, I get the fact, yes, Lash is a great character. But he doesn't appear. He appeared in every single damn comic book. He had basic confusing. And he pretty much does the same thing in every comic book. Just recruits whatever Inhumans basically he deems worthy. Yep. And he tries to take the Inhuman of the team. And of course, they also fight these group of evolutionaries. Well, I should say Celestials. And it turns out these people are actually not the Celestials. Not the classic one Jack Kirby created. Oh no, these are completely different characters. Yep. Also, High Evolutionary returned. First time since the opening issue. And of course, we also have sort of I would say an epilogue to... They even have one issue here that's an epilogue to the Scarlet Spider series. Yeah, it's basically sort of an epilogue. Yeah, because I think Chris Yost was unhappy with the book getting canceled. And he didn't feel as though he gave the book a proper conclusion. So, he had an issue in here solely dedicated to giving a conclusion to his run. Though he did have this gigantic teddy bear that sprung up in frickin' Houston. He's like telling Justice, take me to Mexico. I don't want to be in Houston. And of course, he runs to the guy who, well, forced him to leave Houston in the first place. Yeah, and it turns out the giant teddy bear who they hinted the whole run is basically a nerd. Yes, a nerd who got this power via and of course, it's not him, it's the suit. And the suit gets destroyed, and like. Kane's like, he's like really want to kill him, and eventually he's like, he tells Justice though, can I knock him out? Sure, go ahead. Yeah, and of course he gets webbed up like traditional, like whatever Spider-Man does when he beats up a villain, he basically webs him up for the police. Yeah. And of course the book ends with, well, seeing Justice having a conversation with old Steve Rogers. He says, okay, we're going to expand, and they added Night Thrasher to the team. Great! Why didn't they add them to the group when the book started? Yep. This book is really good. I'm going to give this book a 9.5 out of 10. Okay, now before I end this video, I'm going to talk about two things. My final thoughts on this run, and what happened to these characters after this run ended. Okay, they appeared twice, this group. First, appearing at the start of Spider-Verse, when they all got their butt handed to them by frickin' Moreland, with the exception of Nova. Nova was apparently not there for some reason, yet that was the strange thing about him. You tease him as part of this title, and he's barely in it. Yeah. And of course, Kane is taken by Moreland because he's a frickin' spider. And then they're not seen again until Clone Conspiracy, where they explain that they're in the hospital. Yeah. All the members, minus Nova. And that's the last you see of them. Of course, that issue came out, that was back in issue of Amazing Spider-Man. That came out in 2016. That was roughly about 3 years ago. That was the last anybody heard of the New Warriors. And they have not popped up since then. As for Scarlet Spider himself, he has since popped up, like right after Clone Conspiracy, he popped up in the Ben Reilly Scarlet Spider series. And then once that series ended, I think which was last year it ended, after 25 issues. I'm like, yeah, this is something very familiar. A Scarlet Spider title ending after 25 issues. Why, it sounds like Kane's own title. Though in the case of that one, that was ended due to petty reasons. Yes, because I think it was the editor of Dan Slott's book was jealous of the fact that Scarlet Spider and Venom were outdoing Spirit Spider-Man in the sales, so he cancels both books. I had wondered that for a few years why both books were canceled. So yeah, in the case of this book, I don't know what the reason was the cancellation of this book. Maybe due to low sales. That's a possibility. But this book ended just before Secret Wars even freaking happened. So I have to ask, why did this book have to end? Now, I know one person who was reading this book, apparently he dropped it. This is of course Mike Spider Slayer. He actually dropped this book partway into the run because he didn't like it. Okay, My biggest problem with the book was the fact that Night Thrasher was not in it the whole time. He didn't show up in the last issue of like one freaking panel. That's it. Yeah. My final thoughts as run. Great run. Highly recommend it. Marvel. Very dumb of you to cancel this title. I mean, yeah, it's not the Avengers. Yeah, apparently if it's not Avengers, Fantastic Four, or X-Men, the rest of the titles, rest of the group titles at Marvel Comics do not matter. Oh, New Invaders counts. But yeah, if we have any, apparently Marvel has this thing where they actually do not like other books, other group books outselling Avengers, Fantastic Four, or X-Men. If any book outsells them, they get the axe to them. Despite the fact, probably due to the fact that, here's the thing, I'm sure this book did get positive reviews. Yeah, they even have like a quote. They do have a quote here, like a stellar chip with a solid cast. This is from UnleashTheFanboy.com, which, yeah, and plus I love this quote in the front. A must read from RazorFine.com. Yes, it is a must read. It's a great title, and it baffles me why this book got canceled. I mean, was it canceled those sales? Possibly. I have no idea. Yeah. I mean, it felt as though Chris Yost wanted to do more with this book. That's what it felt as when the book ended. And then it just abruptly ends the way it does. Look at if he was able to finish up the story he was able to tell starting issue 1. Could, I don't know, tell more story, maybe have the team feature more members. Yeah. Apparently, Marvel has this thing has basically a hate for New Warriors. Where, like, apparently, since the end of the original volume, anytime Marvel has tried to have an ongoing series featuring New Warriors, they just getting canceled. Yeah, the second volume lasted for like 11 issues, basically close to the same amount of time this one did. The third volume was a 6-issue miniseries. And the previous one for this one lasted for 20 issues. And I know Marvel's had this thing lately where they keep having a lot of old titles. Marvel, can you bring this title back, please? Really, please. I mean, you brought back last year, actually about 2 years ago, they brought back Runaways. That was by popular demand. People have been begging Marvel for years to bring that title back. And they did. Thank you. Can this title return, please? Can we please have Return New Warriors? Yep. So there's that. But this series is good as a whole. Okay, so that's it for this particular review. I have one more video coming today, and that's our review of newest episode of Fairy Tail. Okay, produce the next view. Bye.